As moms, we're constantly caught between the need to be present and the need to be productive. It doesn't just make us feel guilty, it leaves us in a constant state of not enoughness that exhausts us even further. So in this video, we're diving into how this relentless cycle affects us and exploring ways to shift our mindset to find a better balance between presence and productivity. Hey guys, I'm Brandy Leiden, host and founder of Mom You're Not Alone. I'm also a local realtor and investor here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So let's dive in on this topic. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the productivity trap. So let's start with the concept of productivity. It's drilled into us from all sides. We want to be productive, we want to achieve more, hustle harder. But the reality is when you're a mom, the demands on your time are endless, from attending your child's needs to the managing the household, not to mention any work that you have to get done. So the idea that you need to constantly do more to be good enough creates this vicious cycle. So we end up sacrificing sleep, relaxation, and even joy in the pursuit of productivity, and still it never feels like we're enough. So the truth is, productivity isn't a measure of your worth. You're already doing a lot. The question is whether what you're doing is truly aligned with what matters to you most. So instead of asking, how can I do more? What you really want to shift to is, what can I let go of? What is not aligned with my values? And so this is really going to help us, prioritize what's important to us, because, the second we say yes to something, it's saying no to something else, okay? So if it's that, it's an extra work event, an extra networking event, an extra night away from family and kids, if you're saying yes to that, you're saying no to your family. You're saying no to your kids. All right, the second thing we're going to talk about is guilt for not being present. So let's talk about being present in general. We all have to know the pressure to be that perfect mom who's always attentive and engaged with her children. But let's be real, it's not feasible to be 100% present all the time, and that's okay. So what matters is being intentional about setting aside time when you are going to be present and engage with your kids. So maybe it's setting 15 minutes each day for like a one-on-one, whether it's reading a book together, playing a quick game, or simply talking about their day. It doesn't always have to be a dedicated activity together either. You can find opportunities for meaningful connections in everyday moments, like having an intentional conversation during dinner, or every day on the car ride home from school, or even like doing chores together, such as folding laundry or washing dishes. So the goal is to create moments where your focus is on them, completely free from distractions. And these small but deliberate interactions help your child feel seen and valued, even if you can't always be there every minute of the day. So I'll throw out a personal example on this. I like to put my phone on silent on the way to school for the car ride and on the way home, no matter what. If you think about work, I'm in real estate, it's 24/7. But that person that's calling you doesn't know that you're not in a meeting or with another client or on the other line. So you can give your kids that attention on the way to school and on the way home at least, right? And then the other thing that I've been doing is this is probably going to sound bad. You moms that cook every night, that is not me, but I definitely cook one day a week always. So if it's Taco Tuesday or if it's spaghetti night or whatever it is that everyone, agrees on and can eat, and then that is the one night that we're home and we at least have dinner together and all of that. Because a lot of times kids have activities and we are, taxi driving them to all of that, and we may not all be sitting down at the same time for dinner. So pick your small pieces of time and be 100% present. All right, so the third thing we're going to talk about is the myth of balance. So society often sells us the idea of a perfect work-life balance is achievable if we just manage our time well enough. But the truth is, balance looks different for every mom. So for some, it may mean prioritizing their career during the week and dedicating weekends to family. For others, it's the exact opposite. The important thing is to redefine what balance means for you. So this might require some trial and error, and that's okay. You want to find what feels like a healthy rhythm in your life rather than a split of time between roles. So a lot of times it's like we're on for work and then we're off and we're mom when they hop in the car with us. And then, in my world, it's back to maybe work for an evening showing. And so we've got to remember that there's going to be days where one aspect of your life demands more attention, and that's okay. It's normal. And we have to just adjust to this. So the fourth thing we're going to talk about is how to start shifting your mindset. And changing this cycle of feeling not enough starts with being kinder to yourself. So one approach is to start setting more realistic expectations. So instead of aiming for perfection, aim for just progress. 1% better every day is progress, right? So if you didn't complete every task on your to-do list today, that's okay. Focus on what you did accomplish, no matter how small it seems. And another helpful strategy is to practice saying no without guilt. We talked about this earlier in the podcast. Whatever you say yes to, you're saying no to everything else. And so you've got to be really intentional with what you say no to. Whether it's declining an extra work assignment, networking event like we were talking about, social plans, not saying yes to every dinner that you're invited to go to or anything like that. Or it could be letting go of non-essential chores. So every no allows you to say yes to what matters. So if you guys are like me, if your room is messy or laundry's everywhere or stuff's all over the kitchen counter, sometimes it clutters our mind, and so it's hard for us to focus on other things. So it's just like setting a realistic expectation. So maybe it's, all right, tonight I'm getting the counter cleared off, period. It's going to make me feel better about cooking dinner and packing lunches the next morning and stuff like that. Okay, and the fifth thing we're going to talk about is embrace the different seasons. So finally, you want to understand that motherhood comes in seasons. There will be times when you can dedicate more energy to your career, hobbies, or self-care, and times when your children need more of your attention. So rather than feeling frustrated when you can't do it all, just recognize this is a season and seasons change. So you want to embrace the ebb and flow, and you can be more adaptable and compassionate with yourself. So this perspective allows to navigate the demands of motherhood without feeling like you're failing in every area of life. Right now, I'm in the season of teenagers and college age kids. And so there's a lot of time, they're with friends, they're doing this, other than driving them to events, they're definitely not choosing to hang out with the parents, right? And so then if you have a toddler, they're demanding a ton of your time, right? But then they may go to bed at 8 and you have, the entire evening to yourself. So it's seasons and seasons change, and we've got to be able to adapt to this. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And if this was relatable and helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with other moms who need to hear it. Thanks so much.